Hello and welcome back to the session. Today we are going to discuss about three concepts. The first two terms, market price and factor cost, and which is very useful for you to understand what are the methods of measuring national income. So before moving on to these methods of measuring national income, let me explain you these two terms so that you can able to understand much better. Okay, so the first term is market price. So market price, how will you find out a market price, like how will you fix a market price? So basically you know the process, right? So in a factory or a production sector will be having some input in order to process the production. So what are the inputs? Nothing but the factors of production. So factors of production, you know that the input is factors of production is nothing but land, labor, capital and organization. So land, labor, capital and organization, these four things are the main factors of production which has been inputted to the production process, and you will get the end product, either goods and services. Okay, goods or services. This produced goods and services will be considered as final goods, you know, right? So the last session we were discussing about this final goods and services, nothing but the product which is ready for sale in the market. So this final goods and services, with use of this factors of production, land, labor, capital and organization, you will be getting this final goods and services. Whatever the expenses has been made between this production process, so between this input and the final end product, that cost will be considered as factor cost. So factor cost will be like whatever the cost has been incurred between the input and the production process till the goods and services has been made in that particular premises. So the cost or expenses or cost which has been made between this particular process will be considered as factor cost. So along with these costs, you will be adding taxes, indirect taxes to the government, right? So indirect tax along with this factor cost plus indirect tax plus minus subsidiaries. Subsidiaries we have discussed. So subsidiaries are some benefits which are given by the government to the premises or the organization or the factories, the people who are producing it, right? So government will be giving you certain benefits to the persons, like the enterprises or the factory. So that subsidiaries will be deducted from this particular equation. So this factor cost plus the indirect taxes minus subsidiaries gives you the market value, nothing but the market price. So your market value is nothing but market price. This market price includes factor cost, indirect taxes minus subsidiaries. So these all things has been adjusted together and it will be considered for market price, and along with this market price will have profit margin as well. Okay, so together we'll call it as market price, and up to the production process the goods has been produced and ready for sale, and but still in the premises, so till that the expenses will be considered as factor cost. Clear? The two terms, you have to make sure that these two terms has to be clear in your mind so that you can able to understand much better the future topic methods of measuring national income. So for measuring the national income, we have discussed that what is national income in before session. So National income, we know that it is a monetary value which is used to measure a final goods and services during a particular period of time within our country. So we are in India, so we should consider India as a country or economy. So this is what national income. So how to calculate national income? What are the methods are there to calculate national income? So before session we were discussing about the concepts related to national income. Now we are going to discuss with that concepts, we are going to discuss about what are the methods are there to measure a national income. So in this, before moving on to the types like methods of measuring national income, we have to know what are the things has been involved in this method. So GDP expenditure. So you have to undergo all these things because there are 3 levels in economy. Out of 3 levels, any one of the level will be considered as calculating national income. Either it might be expenditure or income, GDP income, or GDP value of output. So at the end of the calculation, either you should get, like you have to get all the output should be is equal to income. So any of these 3 levels you will be calculating national income. So the first thing is that GDP expenditure. So under this expenditure, what are the expenditure has to be considered in this GDP expenditure method? So consumption is nothing but the consumption of goods, okay? So consumable goods, okay? So this consumption is nothing but the consuming goods, and government spendings, whatever has been spent by the government, the expenditure made by the government will be considered as government spendings, and investment spendings nothing but on fixed assets, whatever the equipment has been there, it will be considered as investment spendings. So these and then changing in stock. Changing in stock, as we know that closing stock minus opening stock will be considered as change in stock. So whatever will be the end of the year, whatever the stock has been left out will be considered as closing stock and minus opening stock. So you will get the change in the stock level. So that expenditure has to be considered. And then export is nothing but whatever traded to the other countries, whatever has been traded to the other countries. And imports whatever you are importing, you should deduct that. So you can see the symbol minus, so you should the minus symbol is nothing but the payments, all the expenditure. And this export here, why it is saying that you are receiving the amount, but at the same time while exporting you will occur some certain expenditure. So those expenditure will be considered here, okay? Then moving on to this GDP, aggregate demand, nothing but gross domestic product, which is which you have to create, the demand, aggregate demand you have to create. For that the expenditure will be considered as GDP expenditure. Then moving on to GDP income. So income, so you will get income out of what? The factors of production, as we seen before, land, labor, capital and organization. So this factors of production will be giving you some certain incomes, wages and salary for labors. So labor, the factor labor will get wages and salary, and the factor capital will get the factor organization will get profit. So then the factor land will get rent, okay? So these are the income will be considered in terms of GDP income. And then moving on to GDP value of output is nothing but the output which have produced will be considered, and the only value added to the sector will be considered. Value added in the sense, say for example, let's take a Cadbury's factory. So a small Cadbury's bar will be cost around 5 rupees. That is the market price. So that market price includes, that market price of a Cadbury's will cost 5 rupees. So this is the market price which includes all the terms: factor cost, all direct expense, I mean indirect expenses and subsidiaries, everything has been adjusted towards the market price along with the profit. So this includes everything, and the factors also, the ingredients we have used for Cadbury's is nothing but sugar, milk and choco powder and some other ingredients will be adding. So in this, milk will be used in making chocolates, right? So the milk will be considered as intermediary goods in case of Cadbury's. In case of farming sector, milk will be considering as final goods. Okay, so based on the different production process or the different end product, the goods may vary in their nature. So either it may be intermediary goods or final goods. You should consider only the final goods of that particular consumption. Okay, so here why I am explaining this example is only value added has to be considered in case of value of output. Okay, so GDP, value of output, the value which is added towards the each and every sector, say for example agriculture sector, farming sector, mining sector and all will be considered as value of output which is added to each and every sector of a nation. Then okay, so for methods of measuring national income, the first method is we are going to discuss is product method. So product method, it's used for most of the GDP outputs. Okay, so outputs will be considered. Outputs is nothing but the finished goods and services. Okay, will be considered while you, calculating in case of product method. So and so it is also called as inventory method. So inventory method, inventory is nothing but goods. Okay, so inventory method, based on the inventories you will be calculating the output. Based on the output you will be calculating this product method. So moving on to this, so what you will consider, the gross value of output, the gross value of final goods and services. So whatever the gross value you are getting it, nothing but the value obtained from GNP at market price, gross national product at market price, the value you are calculating. The before session we were discussing about this concept, the equations. So whatever you get out of this, the information about GNP at market price will be considered as product method, in product method. And this final products you will consider only the value added to the product. Okay, already have been paid will not be considered, nothing but the intermediary goods won't be considered, only the final end product which is ready to consume and ready to sell in the market will be considered for monetary valuation. Then moving on to this example. So let's take an example. In India we have farming, right? So this method is only used in the underdeveloped countries, but in India only for farming, agriculture, mining, or all the primary sectors will be using this type of method for calculating national income. So this in India we got an example, gross value of farm output. Okay, so gross value of farm output is nothing but agricultural farming. Okay, so say for example gross value of 64 commodities of agricultural goods and services, say for example some certain number of hectares. Okay, so you will have that particular output, average number, whatever you are cultivating, the crop, output of the crop into how many hectares you are cultivating into the value of that particular hectare, per hectare value. So you will get per hectare value. So you will be calculating all this together so that you will get that market price of that particular farm output. So the example for this product method is farming output. So some other examples like mining, extraction industries, all the primary sectors has been involving this type of method to calculating national income. So, and other than this, India, other countries like underdeveloped countries are using this type of method to calculate their own national income. Then moving on to the precautions. What are the precautions you have to take while calculating this national income? First of all, we have to avoid double counting. So double counting, as I said you before, intermediary goods should not be considered. So those value will be considered once they are considering as final output. Before thing I was telling the example that for Cadbury's Dairy Milk you will be considering milk as a intermediary product. In case of farming product, it is a final goods. So here you have to avoid double counting. There it has already been counted in case of double. So in case of farming sector, milk will be already counted as final products. So now only the value added has to be considered. So in order to avoid double counting, you should avoid intermediary goods. Okay, so then the next precaution you have to make is avoid value of output of self-consumption. So self-consumption is nothing but whatever the produced product which has been used for the nothing but the own sectors or the own business owners might be using that particular goods and services. So that will be considered as self-consumption. So that should be totally avoided because it won't be considered as marketable goods. So they are using for their own consumptions. So this is one of the precaution you have to make. And the last precaution you have to make is second hand products. So already first handed products already been considered in terms of national income once they have sold before. Now again the same product has been sold to the other consumer will not be considered in case of product method. Then moving on to the next method we are going to see is income method. Income method can be also called as factor earning method. So here only the income flow of the economy will be considered. So what are the incomes? Incomes has been classified under different factor incomes. So you have to follow the steps to calculate the income. So the first thing you have to consider is labor income. So labor income you have to consider. Then later on you have to move on to capital income, then the mixed income. Mixed income is nothing but together. Some people will be having professional income and also from different other sectors or the working activities, you will get some other income. So that will be considered in case of mixed income. So here income which is generated during that course of production will be considered in case of factor income. So during the course of action is nothing but for a particular period of time for particular production income, whatever income has been generated and circulated will be considered as national income. So you will be segregating, classifying it based on the income based like labor income, capital income, mixed income. So adding on these three steps, nothing but the three divisions of income, you will get the factor income in hand. So this income, for calculating this factor income method, while calculating this income method, y is equal to w, which is nothing but the factor labor. It's written as wages, right? So wages plus land, it's written as rent. So w plus r plus I is nothing but the written for capital in investment. Okay, sorry, interest. So interest will be paid to the capital, that will be considered as income. So wages, rent, interest will be considered, and this pi value is nothing but the profit. Whatever the profit margin you are fixing for that particular product will be considered as income. And also this R minus P is nothing but export minus import will also taken into consideration. So this equation altogether will be called as income method, national income with use of income method. Then precautions, what are the precautions you have to make use of it? So you have to take it, like avoid transfer payment. You know, transfer payment is nothing but the pensions and social benefits whatever is given by the government. So those things won't be given at that particular year, might be after some point of time. When you get old, you will get pension, so that particular financial year you won't consider, right? So that should be avoided. Once the pension has been given, you can also avoid this calculate this transfer payment. Pension is not given, it's like after some point of time the pension is the point of pension will be calculated. Then this windfall gains in the sense lottery tickets and some profits out of, like just like that you will be earning some gifts and all, like so those things will be considered as windfall gains. Windfall gains, nothing but the lotteries, whatever you gain, it's not a proper flow, any time you will get or some point of time. Yeah, okay. So windfall gains is nothing but sometimes you will get some profit, or just like that you will get some income out of some activities. Then moving on to this corporate profit tax, it has already been added to the corporate tax, so you should not again add this corporate profit tax separately. You should include this corporate profit tax only in while summing up the corporate tax. So already has been added, so you should avoid this corporate profit tax. Okay, the next method we are going to see is expenditure method, and it's also called as outlay method. And this method we have already discussed in the initial session. We were discussing about this expenditure, GDP output and GDP input. So in that, the expenditure, whatever the expenditure has been listed out, will be considered as a part of this expenditure method calculation. So what are those things? The expenditure which is incurred within the society, by the society. For example, personal consumption goods will be consumed by individuals, right? So those personal consumptions, net domestic investments. So net domestic investment is nothing but as a economy, overall an economy, whatever you have invested into the fixed asset, nothing but the equipments and the machineries, whatever the investment part, investment goods you are invested, this will be considered as net domestic investments. And government expenditure, whatever the government purchases or produces, whatever the expenses has been made for that particular activity will be considered as government expenditure. That also will be considered in case of expenditure method. And capital goods is nothing but whatever you have invested, whatever the initial stages of your production process, or the business started, like the beginning of your business and all. So whatever the capital goods has been required will be considered as capital goods. And moving on to the equation, GNP is equal to C plus I plus G plus X minus M. So this GNP is at market price, and here C is nothing but the consumption, personal consumptions, and I is in domestic investment, and G is government purchases, and plus export minus import. So this is what the outlay method. And so the precautions you need to undergo is avoid double counting. As usual, the methods, before methods you used to see the precautions, like so just like that, avoid double counting and avoid value of output for self consumptions. Whatever has been consumed for self process will be considered, will be avoided, and second hand products will not be considered. And also the expenditure on intermediary goods, since it has already been included before, while calculating, like while that particular product will be final product, final goods and services, that point of time it will be considered. But here the expenditure on intermediary goods should be avoided. And in case of purchase of second hand securities, shares, bonds and all, if you are purchasing the first hand shares and bonds in a primary market, it will be considered, but you should avoid this purchase of second hand shares and bonds. So whatever the securities you are traded and whatever the securities you have purchased in secondary market will be considered as purchase of second hand goods, and it should be avoided in case of calculating expenditure method. And then transfer of payment. So transfer payment here are nothing but, I was saying it before, the government benefits. So whatever the government benefits has been given to the firm will be considered as transfer payments. If, say for example, pensions, social benefits and some other allowances is given by the government, which might be take some certain years to takes place. So that particular transfer payment won't happen that particular financial year. So that should be avoided in case of calculating this method. So finally we have come to the end. So the three methods today we have seen is product method, income method and expenditure method. So the product method can be also called as inventory method, and the income method is nothing but the factor outlay method, and this expenditure method is outlay method, and these three methods are used for calculating national income. And then we have seen the two terms, market price and factor cost, which will be useful for you to understand the concepts. Okay, so here we have come to the end. That thank you students, be safe and see you in next session.